Welcome to Galaxy All Access for Thursday, August 9th. Joe Tutino coming to you from the Home Depot Center, where Sunday night the Galaxy will be the road team in the third match of the SuperClasico facing Chivas USA. We'll have it for you on radio, AM 1150, as well as LAGalaxy.com, as Ralph Perez will join me. Galaxy in fifth place right now at 33 points on the season, 10, 11, and 3 on the campaign. And joining me today, team captain Landon Donovan. Welcome back.
Thank you, sir.
I keep on telling you we should have the Landon Donovan show every week.
Maybe someday.
Maybe someday.
Maybe when I retire.
Yeah. Hopefully not for a long time. But I'll take you a few times a year that way. First impression from Sunday night's match. Seemed like you guys have gotten things going in the right direction. A lot has been talked about, written about, whatever. But almost like you guys picked at the scab from earlier in the season.
Yeah. Well, it started with a poor start to the game.
Yeah.
And we've had that too many times this year. We talked a lot about that combination, Rosales to Eddie Johnson, and they pulled off a great play. We fell asleep for a sec, and that was it. But I actually think the rest of the half we played all right. We created some chances. And then, at that point, a non-call on a penalty kind of changes the game.
And a handball outside the box, I thought.
Right. So that's part of it, too. But there's no excuse for the way we played in the second half, and we got to put that behind us quickly.
I thought there was a part to the game early on, and this is not dirty by Seattle. I mean, teams do this, and I think you guys also do this, but they were a little aggressive early on. I think you took a pretty good knock. I think Robbie took a pretty good knock, if I remember. Mm-hmm. The calls didn't go your way. You guys maybe responded a bit, and then the calls started going against you a bit.
Yeah,
happens.
That happens a lot with us. I mean, it's difficult for teams to defend us. We've got a lot of attacking things coming at them from all different angles, and the way that most teams handle that is to foul you and kick you, and you rely on the refs to protect you, and sometimes that doesn't happen, and it's just part of it. It's part of what you deal with as an attacking player. Yeah,
you seem to be a pretty big target this year, though. I think you're taking more punishment than before.
Yeah, I mean, listen, I've dealt with that for most of my career, and I've learned how to dish it out a little bit too, and make sure that guys know that they're not going to get away with that. But like I said, you unfortunately in this sport you have to rely on the officials to take care of you. It's not hockey where you get hit and someone can come in and fight a guy and let
you guys don't have an enforcer.
Let them know who's boss. So you have to do it in a fair way, and you hope the officials protect you. And I'm sure that other officials in the league will look at some of these things. That guy obviously had a poor game, that official on Sunday, and they'll make sure that those things are taken care of.
I know the Galaxy aren't the only team that falls in those situations. You get poor officiating, but how do you overcome that as a team, just in general?
Well, the only option you have, you have different options. The best option, in my opinion, is you just got to get on with it. And it's frustrating at times, and sometimes it can affect games and it can affect outcomes. But over the course of the season, it's just something that happens. And we're also going to get our fair share of calls that go our way,
yeah.
and that's part of it. But in a game, there's nothing you can do about it. You just got to get on with it.
Last question regarding the Seattle game. Offensively, I know you guys obviously would want to get on the scoreboard. You were busy around the offensive third, but you were not able to find the frame. And was Seattle doing something in that regard that they did a very good job, or unfortunately on this night you guys just were poor?
Both. They played well, and so the few chances that we did have to create some things and get into the penalty area and make chances, they did a good job defending. And then we just weren't sharp. Everywhere around the field, little passes were off. When we got a chance to make the right pass, we didn't make the right pass. Our crossing wasn't great. And then when we did have a few good plays, guys couldn't finish them. And it was just, for us, that was an uncharacteristic night for us.
Sunday night here at the Home Depot Center, as I mentioned, you guys are the road team against what a lot of people believe is your biggest rival, Chivas USA. I'm not so sure how you feel about that, but maybe it is. They've added a big player, figuratively and literally, and Shalry Joseph, and I know you've played against him against New England. What type of change do you expect to see from the last Chivas USA team you saw?
Well, I actually think his best quality, and he has a lot of very good qualities, his best quality is his leadership. And, I don't know how comfortable he's going to feel immediately with the team. I think we're expecting that he's going to play against us. It's going to take him some time to get to know his teammates and really be vocal in that way. But all the times we've played New England, the thing that sticks out to me is how vocal he is, how demanding he is of his players, and he brings a lot out of guys, and I think that's a great quality to have.
He certainly gave New England their spine in a big way. Might do that here with Chivas USA. Maybe that's what they've been missing offensively. Defensively, they've been good all year.
Yeah, and who knows how he's going to play or how they're going to use him, but he's a guy who throughout his career, even though he's been a defensive midfielder, he's always scores 6, 7, 8, 10 goals. He's always dangerous on set pieces. He does a good job of getting into the box late when they have the ball and getting on the end of things. So it'll be interesting to see how they use him, but he's a guy who can be a threat offensively, even though you think of him as a defensive-minded player. After
Sunday, then it's back to Team USA for you as you guys go to Mexico. I know you weren't part of Dallas, but you've played in difficult situations before where the heat is really a problem on the field here in MLS. If you can give the fans at least an idea, what level is Azteca Stadium in compared to games in the summertime here in the United States?
Well, we may luck out in Mexico. It may not be too hot. The issue with Azteca always is the altitude and then just the fans, and they really push their team to be good. This is an interesting fixture date because the European teams haven't started their seasons yet, so most of those players are in preseason, both for us and for Mexico. So it's a little bit interesting. I know the players don't like this date at all because it's tough to fly across the world 3 days before your first league game. So it always makes for an interesting date. But it's going to be a good game. We're excited about it, and it's a chance to win it at Azteca, which is what we want.
I know you're excited about getting back to Team USA when you were gone for that extended period of time. Being there in person, I would think now you get a better feeling on how things are coming together.
Yeah, and for a lot of the players and even for the coaching staff, qualifying, the first 2 games of qualifying were the first taste for a lot of people there. So it was good to get that under our belt. This is going to be a big test for our team, and then ultimately the games that matter are the last 4 in this part of the year that will help us qualify for the next round.
Under the guise of perception being reality, and here in the States we're still overcoming perception with our sport, of the soccer snobs, so to speak, because I remember talking to some fans after the 5-1 decision to Real Madrid, and a lot of the soccer snobs will say, well, you know what, the American team shouldn't be on the field with this. Well, lo and behold, last night one of the best teams in the world takes on Real Madrid in AC Milan, and there was a 5-1 defeat for AC Milan. The unfortunate thing is you guys still don't get any credit for the fact that you played maybe the best team in the world, if not the second best team in the world.
Right. I mean, anybody who's close to this game and has played and understands knows what that was all about. That team, there's a reason why they are who they are. There's a reason why they're playing for Real Madrid, and it was an entertaining night for us. I think all of us weren't too surprised by the 5-1 scoreline against AC Milan last night. You see that they can do that against the best teams in the world, and we said it all week. They beat teams in their own league 6-7-0 from time to time. So I think we're fine with how we performed, all things considered.
How do we change the perception, though? How do we change that perception? You've been around this game a long time as a pro. You're now at the point where I think you can analyze the situation.
I don't know that you do change it. I think the more people that really understand the game and what it's about, the more it helps. But if you're just a casual fan watching, you're not going to understand what that means. Everybody thinks that, or a lot of people think that you're always on an even playing field, and you're not, and it's the reality, and that's fine. We know we're not as good as Real Madrid. We know this league isn't as good as the La Liga or the Bundesliga or the Premier League, but we're trying to get better, and I think years ago that would have been a 10-0 scoreline, so we're getting somewhere.
Final question as we put the wraps on this one, what good comes out of Sunday going into Sunday?
Well, sometimes when you lose by a scoreline like that, you kind of just throw it out and move on to the next game. We know what happened. We know that there were some things that weren't done properly, and our guys are very good at correcting that. So I liken our team more to the way we were last year at this point than we were earlier in the year, where this isn't going to become a trend. So if we have a game like that, we kind of get rid of it, we look at it, make sure it doesn't happen again, and then right the ship.
Galaxy return as the home team at the Home Depot Center Sunday, August 26th, facing FC Dallas. That's a 4 o'clock start, and tickets are available via LAGalaxy.com or by calling 8773-GALAXY. Thank you, sir. Thanks for taking the time.
My pleasure. Thanks, Joe.
For Landon Donovan, Joe Tutino saying thank you for making Galaxy All Access part of your day.